Hey, it's Wes.
And Shonda,
And welcome to DinkLife.
Today we are still in Ireland, but we are driving out to the country, and we are on the Sally Gap Drive today. So behind us, if you can see it, I don't know if you can or not, there is a rainbow. It's absolutely stunning up here, absolutely beautiful. We drove about, can you see it? We drove about 22 miles, 25 miles out of Dublin.
Which took about 55 minutes.
Yeah, it takes about an hour, and it's just because you're not on the freeway. It's all back roads and city roads and things like that. And then once you start to get up in here, it's like one lane, and you have to be very careful and drive kind of slowly. It's strange because the speed limit isn't slow, but
the locals drive really fast.
Yeah, I wouldn't drive like a bat out of hell if you're not used to it. We certainly didn't. And there are places that you do have to pull over because it's like one lane, and if cars coming the other way, you have to yield.
I was only driving about 50 kilometers an hour.
It was fine, trust me.
But it has an 80. If you can go 80 on it.
It was perfectly fine, trust me. But we are this is the first stop where we had a car park where we could pull over and kind of get out of the car. But we wanted to show you this. We actually passed a few things.
Yeah.
If you look it up, it'll tell you everywhere to stop and all of the points of interest on the drive. But they do say a lot about 2.5 hours for the drive to get out of the car and walk around and take in the sights and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do to get today. We have our walking gear on and we are ready to roll. It's a beautiful day out. I hope the weather stays this way.
I was going to say we probably need to do a horrible job at hitting all the landmarks for you, but
we probably will.
Find a better guide. I think next we're going to try to go to the PS I Love You bridge.
Yeah,
because we kind of came in the wrong way.
We don't know what we're doing. We're just taking it as it comes. We have the whole day. We are going to stop for lunch at a place that was recommended on the itinerary, and we'll probably take you there too, just so that you know about it in case you do decide to do this. But we're going to take off and see what kind of trouble we can get into. All right, everybody. So we are driving towards Sally Gap, which is one of the big deals over here that every touristy vlog or blog or guide will tell you to go to. We've been on the road for about 25 minutes, and as you can see out the window, we are legitimately somewhere with absolutely no civilization whatsoever. No trees, no nothing, just mountains and dead grass.
There's lots of bicyclers.
Lots of bicyclers on this road, and I gotta commend them because this is rough. Like, this is rough terrain. A lot of hills. But yeah, there's not a lot to look at up here, as you can plainly see out the car window.
I think it's pretty.
It is pretty. Probably be a lot prettier if it was green, I imagine. But we luckily have not run into another car in the last probably 10 miles. Which is nice because these roads are super duper narrow. They do tell you to leave early if you're going to make this drive. This is probably why it's reminiscent a little bit to me of the road to Hana. Obviously not as green, where it's one lane and very curvy, and you're on the side of a mountain. And this is also our first time driving on the opposite side of the road, which Wes is doing now. And this is only our second time. The only other time we've done it is from the airport, so it's been interesting. We did do a National Lampoon's European Vacation this morning where I tried to get into the wrong side of the car, so that was fun. But we're on our way, and we're going to take you with us to Sally Gap.
So here we are, the first stop here. It's pretty. Walking up a little path. This is what we just walked up. There's a whole trail up at the top. There's a rainbow.
Here we are in Ireland.
And that over there is the J.B. Malloy car park. And then I'll probably jack this up, but I think this is the Low Tray Lake down there. Very pretty.
So we are on our way to the next stop on the Sally Gap Drive, the Glenmacnass Waterfall. It was about 7.5 miles from the last stop, which was the PS I Love You bridge, which technically wasn't a stop, if I'm being honest. You just kind of drive over it.
There was no place to stop.
There was no place to stop, and it's one lane, so you have to get over it pretty quickly, or there's a chance another car is going to come. But as you can see, again, We're just kind of on a one-lane road.
Oh, some forest though.
There are some trees finally. As you can see up ahead. On the drive up here, there were no trees at all. We were like
very barren out here.
a little worried. I assume all of this turns green at some point. But I don't know. But yeah, we're about 4 miles out from the waterfall, and we will show it to you when we get there. Oh, there's also a lot of speed tables on this road, just so you know.
Yeah. Now we're at our next stop right here. There's a big car parking lot right here you can park for the waterfall. And here's a map of where we're at right now. We're walking down the road to the waterfall because their trail maps are not marked very well here. So there is a waterfall right there, but can't really see it from their views. But it is pretty here.
It's a sheep. Could be wrong, but I just
Yeah, it is pretty. It's just hilarious. You can't even see it. And there's really no trail to go down to it. I don't even understand what the trails are terrible.
We're gonna get to go see.
We did find a little coffee shop. I got a latte and a little treat. And here's a shot of the little coffee shop at the end of the pass. So we are at the Visitor Center right now, but you do have to pay €4 parking for it.
For a car. So make sure it was funny, when we first got in, it didn't have an option, and then we got through the whole process and it said €15, and we were like, holy shit. But then when you backed out, you get to pick if it's a car, a camper, a bus, whatever. So just make sure you do that.
And make sure when you get up to it to take a picture of your license plates, because you'll need to type that into the machine.
Yes, and here they are not as short as they are in the US, so it's not super easy to remember.
And I did take credit card and cash, but I had €4 of cash.
Correct.
Now we are walking up to the Visitor Center here. Guess there's a shot of the map.
All right, everybody, so once you get up to the Visitor Center, there is he called it a museum inside, and a little short film with the history of the place. Now that does cost €5 to get in. Your parking ticket, if you pay to park, is $4 off, so that gets one person in for free, and then the other person you have to pay. We did not go in there because we have a lunch reservation in like half an hour, so it would kind of be a waste of money and time for us to do that at this point. But the grounds are free, so you can walk around anywhere here free. Now he did say the loop around the grounds takes about 25 minutes or so. So if you're going to walk that, just make sure you allot enough time. But just wanted to let you know that that's what's happening. And there is like a place to get coffee and food here. So it's really beautiful. It's nice.
It's a cool looking tombstone right there. Right underneath this tower.
Sign on it.
There it is, the round tower.
It was used to summon the monks to prayer.
Huh. It's really cool looking.
It's six stories tall. Top story has 4 windows.
Look at that, it's like a little tombstone tunnel right there. That is really pretty off in the distance there. Yeah, that roof is wild up there. Pretty neat inside.
We want some more of those. It does look nice.
And they do have a hotel right next to the cemetery here. And there's a barbecue place here. And now we're at the Wicklow Heather for lunch. And here is the inside of the place here. Cool ceiling. So here's my traditional Irish breakfast here. I got some black pudding and white pudding. Then Shonda over there has some
Poached eggs and guacamole. I have toast coming too. All right, at the age of 48, Wes is trying black pudding for the first time ever.
It smells okay. It's not bad. It doesn't really have a strong flavor or anything, but it's like maybe sagey? I can't tell.
No?
It's dry, but it's just like a... kind of reminds me of... Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing really in the United States, but it doesn't have a bad flavor.
It didn't make you gag like that meal in China.
No, it's actually not bad.
Excellent.
I would give it a try if you were here.
Okay.
And then over there is a full bar and pub.
All right, everybody, so our plans took a little detour. We were supposed to be gone all day, and after we did our little drive this morning that we took you on, we were supposed to go somewhere. It was called Spink Trail, and we were supposed to take like a 9-kilometer hike, which we were perfectly ready to do. Like, we were geared up and we were ready to go.
Yeah.
So we went and had some lunch, brunch, whatever you want to call it, about 11:30. And by the time we got back in the car and went to drive to the trail, which was 1.5 miles away, by the way, it was going to take 45 minutes. That's how backed up the traffic was.
Yeah.
45 minutes.
And the roads are super narrow over there.
The roads are very narrow. So,
Didn't sound fun.
It was already like getting close to 1 o'clock. So we were feeling like, do we want to sit in this or do we want to drive back to Dublin, which was 1.5 hours still back to Dublin.
Yeah,
So-
which was only like 20 miles.
Yeah, it was like 22 miles. So we got in the car and we decided to come back to Dublin. So we did do that. So we have had a change of plans, much like we did on the first day. So this is the second time we've had to hard pivot our plans while we were here. And we've only been here 3 days, not even really like 48 hours.
Yeah.
So we had to hard pivot. So we've come back to Dublin proper, and we are now going to go to Dublin Castle, hopefully, fingers crossed.
We'll see.
Which we were supposed to do on the first day, and we didn't get to because our flight was delayed 5.5 hours. So it's fine. It's cool. We travel enough that we don't get stressed out about this kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really get stressed about missing stuff.
No, not anymore. We used to, but we've kind of learned you can't do everything. So yeah, we're gonna attempt to do that, but that's also why we didn't do an outro at Spink, because we didn't get there.
Yeah.
So this is kind of our outro for this morning, and we will do another video, hopefully, fingers crossed, when we get to Dublin Castle. So anyway, just remember, as always,
whatever you decide to do, just get out there and do it.